Hashtag Real Race Talk. It's the Revved Up Sports Show talking local, regional, and national action. Here's Bobby Chaffee and Rodney Rodriguez.
Got a little Tuesday magic, guys. Back-to-back days. It is hashtag Real Race Talk. It is the Revved Up Sports Show. Bobby Chaffee, Rodney Rodriguez as we dive in. And Bobby, if it's a lot of times we do Tuesday stuff out of necessity. Today we are doing Tuesday because we're dropping schedules. And boy, we got a couple of damn good ones happening just in a matter of moments, my man. First of all, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Looks like we got some of the technical gremlins from last night kind of taken care of there. So I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like they're rolling like it should with technology and Mother Nature and all that cooperating. So so far, so good, dude. Going to be an interesting show. It is a show I've been looking forward to for a hot minute.
Yep, no doubt about it. Lots to talk about. Texana Raceway Park in Edna. Of course, South Texas Race Ranch over in Corpus Christi. Again, a reminder for you guys, there is your QR code. A lot of folks always asking, where do I get archives? Where do I get all of that stuff? Right there, you can scan that. It's going to take you right to the Revved Up page. You can catch every show that's live. You can catch everything right there with the QR code. Takes you straight to the website, to the hub, to the home of hashtag Real Race Talk. It is the Revved Up Sports Show. So let's dive in. Let's bring in the man that is going to give us the news first and foremost. You look bundled up. It is my man Owen Pittman. Owen, how's the weather out your way, dude? We've talked to folks up north and all that shit. It's just flat ass cold. I mean, people are looking for reasons to not go to work for ice and all that. I'm sorry, there's none of that. It's just fucking cold. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, 10-4. It is plenty chilly. We're about 37, 36 here. Just picked up a half a steer a while ago. So I told you I was on the road. I was driving back from picking up steer from a processor and didn't need no ice chest today. Did not need an ice chest to keep that stuff frozen on the road. So got a whole ice box full of meat. There it is. A big freezer full of meat. I mean, more than I could handle. Mm-hmm. It's plenty chilly. I agree.
Yep. Oh, and so with you, and we'll drop the schedules right away. We're not going to sit here and make people wait. I know folks have been waiting for this. Man, doing one schedule is one thing, and you've already done one because that Houston one came out way back when. Kind of talk about the challenge right here of doing two dirt tracks within earshot of each other to try to appease everybody to get these dates lined up.
Man, honestly, super difficult. Houston came out a long time ago. We're a little bit at the mercy of Dean and what he wants to do and how we want to do it. And I kind of like it. He drives a lot of that for us. So I was okay with getting that out early, and I'm excited about Houston. We're going to add some stuff to Houston. We might talk about that a little bit through the show, but and I'm talking classes there. But we to try to put together Corpus, put together Edna. And then I'm at every racetrack when they're happening. So try to put it all together and do something different. And then you'll see with the Edna schedule, we changed a lot up this year and some really interesting stuff there to try to do something different and try to improve South Texas racing is all we're trying to do. So a lot of focus on schedules, and people think it's easy and they're all on, dude, like y'all with everything. They're on my ass about, hey, hurry up. we're waiting on a damn schedule. It's like, dude, I promise it'll be done plenty of time for you to make your life fine. You don't gotta freak out over this deal. It's gonna be good. Just give me a chance. And so yeah, I've been at it nonstop, along with Rocket Raceway freaking trophies, and I got Heart of Texas, and I got trucks, and I got a lot of stuff going on. But racetracks are my number one focus, so I'm trying to get these schedules right.
Hey, and then you had that little event in Oklahoma also. So yeah, you've been doing shit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sorry, Bobby. Go ahead, man.
No, I got nothing. All I know is I've been looking forward to the Texana schedule. Obviously, I have a vested interest in the Texana schedule, so I guess we'll start with that one, Owen. I know there's some changes that I've heard, but well, I mean, maybe I'm assuming that I haven't heard that you don't want me back, so I'm guessing that I'll at least be this year in 2024.
Yeah.
Well, we've been hard at looking for a new announcer over there, but we're stuck with you.
Yeah. I'll see how many Fridays I can make, but we'll talk about that later.
Whoa. Hey, let the cat out of the bag. All right, let's go to it. All right, Owen. Let's start with Texana Raceway.
Rodney made me say that, Bobby. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. I know. The people are just now starting to like me.
There you go.
We're just fucking with you, Bobby. All right, there we go, Owen. Break it down, man. Looking good right there. And as you said, there are some noticeable changes on there, but I gotta say, I kind of like that. Go ahead and roll with it.
Yeah, so we got a lot of Friday nights, guys. So here's the thinking, right? You live in Edna, Texas, okay? Small town USA, Flag City, USA. You want to go somewhere. You want to go to Houston. You want to go to Corpus. That's the two directions you're going to go. Hell, you might go to San Antonio or Austin. It's about 2 hours every direction you go to go anywhere when you live in Edna, Texas. And that being said, my thought talking to Cord was, well, hey, I'm going to go on a Saturday if I'm going to go, right? I'm going to spend my day, and then I'm not going to go to the races because I'm going to spend my Saturday going somewhere out of town if I want to go. So let's do some Friday night stuff. It works in Heart of Texas, and there's nobody down south here doing any Friday night stuff. And 105 Speedway races on Saturday nights, about every Saturday night of the entire year. Corpus races Saturday, Cotton Bowl races Saturday, and 37 races Saturday. So let's try some Friday night stuff, and let's pull some Friday nights together to where guys can run multiple tracks and come down south, and they could have some fun with us on a Friday night. So we added a lot of Friday nights up till about August. As of August, it's high school football. We don't do Friday nights in August anywhere and be successful. So August, September, we moved on to Saturday nights by then. Bobby's like, well, yeah, but Saturday night's my college football night. I know, but we moved out of the Friday night
conflict right now.
So we obviously got some Friday nights in there that we're really trying to run a different schedule to help us grow the car count a little bit. Edna struggled this past year, and we know it and we see it. So how do we fix it? How do we continue to grow Edna and make it? Man, we got a top-notch facility, guys. Y'all been there. Y'all seen it. Y'all know what it's about. It's hard to go. Man, there's a whole lot of better facilities at this point. Cord Beard and his team, and now with the new press box, the new fencing, the new lighting, the new sound system, they've added, Bobby, they added a $20,000 sound system at this place. Edna's got it going on. Edna has the facility.
So they added the sound system in the storm hit, so I'm looking forward to it all down there.
So now we need to get the cars and the fans and people to come see what it's about, and we're going to try some Friday nights, obviously. What do we got there? About 6 Friday nights this season that will be our regular race nights, and they should be good nights. The trucks are going to make some Friday night appearances. Excited about that. We're looking forward to some great Friday night events.
Question off the top. Friday night's going to start at 8, 7, 8, or to be determined?
It won't start at 7. It's too early to get anybody there, especially if you're coming out of Houston or Corpus. So it's going to be an 8 o'clock type night. So, we'll start a little later, but we still anticipate being done by 10:30. We're going to run it straight through. You know how it goes, Bobby. We don't play around a whole lot. So our goal is, we'll start at 8, be done at 10:30.
Nice.
But
Nice.
I think what I really like about that is when I saw the Fridays, because like you said right there, what it does entail is with the Saturdays. I mean, for folks that want to race in two different places, because I truly believe that's one of the things that has made Waco so strong, is that you have the Friday night show, and then you have that whole Saturday to go race somewhere else, and I think that's pretty powerful right there. Adding that in there too, especially with where Edna is, because there are neighboring tracks that are going to be racing on Saturdays.
Yeah, it opens it up quite a bit, right? So it definitely gives you opportunity if you're a racer that you can run multiple tracks. We're going to do some, and we'll drop this on a later Revved Up show, but we're going to do some combo point stuff between the Race Ranch and Edna to get to hopefully get some of these Race Ranch guys to come up Corpus and race with us there in Edna on Friday nights and Saturday nights. And it'll be some big end of the year, December implications, a separate race for a lot of money for just guys that run those two tracks type thing, or pick up a win at those two tracks. So there's a lot of stuff coming that I'm working on a nonstop basis, but excited to have it, excited to see some Friday nights. It's going to be fun. I think it's a great opportunity for Edna, and it's the right place to do it. Like I said, if I lived in Edna, I'm going to travel on a Saturday, so Friday night's my time to do something around the house, something around local, and I can come right out here to the racetrack and enjoy myself that Friday night.
No doubt.
So, Owen, we've been getting a lot of good responses off of the field. Looks like the STEM series is something that's going to be unique. We see a couple of different times that they're going to run with a Texana. How much have they been beating down your door to come run down there? Is it a mutual thing? Like you want more of them type of dates, or did they want a certain number of dates? Talk about that a little with stems and even the trucks, with that matter, for scheduling.
No, everybody asked for a certain amount, pretty much. Stems, they pretty much said, hey, we'd like to run X number of dates if we could. So I have a lot of involvement and ties to Stems, and I talk to them guys a lot. Jacob and them, they're working hard at what they're doing, and we gave up a pretty good sponsor in Eastside Hot Rod Shop going over to the STEM series versus coming to Edna, who is our normal class sponsor this year. So excited to see them guys go over and jump onto the series, and excited to have the series coming to us at both tracks, and we'll see the other schedule in a little bit. But the STEM series is going to be a great modified series. It's a great opportunity for modifieds in general. I haven't talked to one person that runs a modified that's unhappy about it. And I hear from guys like Kevin Rogers. I say he saw where he checked in, but Kevin was like, man, that's exactly what modifieds need to keep alive. That's great. And I talked to Stephen Whitaker Jr. Stephen says, man, that STEM series, that's exactly what modifieds need. All these guys are real high on STEM series. That modified series is what modifieds need to keep going. Racetracks like mine, both of my tracks, what do we run, guys? 8 to 9 cars a night.
All right.
That STEM series has the opportunity to bring 20 plus and put on some amazing shows. Chris Carroll, I talked to a lot of guys, and there's a lot of guys committed to doing that series. So the STEM series is good. Dwarf cars, obviously good. They run a lot of late races. I was totally clueless why we got one very first of the year and then 3 late in the year, and I don't know where they're at, but I let them kind of do their own thing. I sent them a set of dates and said, here, you guys go with what you want to go with. And the trucks, they wanted 4 in Edna and 3 in Corpus, and that's fine with me. I'm assuming it's a travel issue, and they find their way, and I'm fine with that. The trucks put on a great show. If y'all remember the last show we had there, Anthony Gordon get flipped over. I mean, they get pretty wild there in Edna. So hell yeah, let's bring them guys, and it's great promoting. It's a great chance. Every series is a great chance to promote a night, right? So it gives us something as a promoter to advertise, and man, look what's coming this week, right? So it's important to have them series, not just, hey, guess what? We got our normal night, we're gonna just do our normal stuff.
Yeah.
We love our normal races, but the series gives you a little kick up, right? It gives you a little something to get a little better.
That's right. That's exactly right. So there it is right there. There's another look right there. The obvious change, like Owen's talking about, there's some Friday night dates in there. So again, all of this will be, on the Texana page, but everything dropping right here. Hopefully you've had a good chance to look at that right there. So let's go to the race ranch. So, and that's where, man, I love the Friday, Saturday thing right here with this. I mean, I think this really is a great opportunity. Obviously, Owen, let's dive in. So for you guys at the ranch, kicks off with the American Sprint Car Series, March the 1st is where we'll go with that one. I'll kind of let you take it from that point.
Yeah, the first and second national tour opener. That's not your normal deal. That's the national tour opener. That's about $55,000 of holy cow. We got the big boys coming way south. They're dipping down further south in Texas for sure than they've been ever. That's a big deal right there. That one sets the tone for our season, guys. Super excited about that one. We're 46 days out of the biggest race of the year, and the nice part is it's the opener. So anybody running for points in the ASCS National Tour is going to come to that one. That ought to be a 30-40 sprint car show, B mains, the whole 9 yards. So super stoked about having the National Tour. When Terry Maddox called me about it, I was definitely still stressed, but it is what it is. We'll make it happen, and it'll be a great show. Looking forward to it. I think when you put up the regular schedule, you'll kind of see we got a certain group of cars running each night, including on March 2nd, our big Saturday night show in front of the biggest crowd. I'll bet you any amount of money the biggest crowd we have all year will be March 2nd, and the STEM series will be there. So that's another piece of the puzzle that we're working on, and that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah. So Owen, with a big show like that, I mean, with the sprint cars coming in, how taxing is that for you? Because a lot of times when they come in, they're going to run their own show. They're going to do whatever. It's your facility and all of that. But a lot of times a show like that may be a hell of a lot more stress and a hell of a lot more work for you guys than a regular race night, because just of all the other bullshit that's going on with it being a big race like that.
Yeah, it really is. It stresses you out on multiple levels, right? So one, you want to put on the best show. You want to have the best track for guys that are coming from all over the country, because they're going to leave there and go, man, we went to that race ranch and that was badass, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to have the best racetrack. So all of a sudden your stress level's through the roof. It's kind of like that end of the year December show. You got cars, you got 200 viewer there, and I'm over there stressed out to the max, unhappy about everything. But that show's the one that puts you at a different level on track prep. You want to make sure your track prep's spot on and what the sprint car guys like. At the same time, you're worried about timing. You got to get it in a time frame that your crowd is enjoying themselves and it's right. And it's got to be a great show. It's got to be a great show, whether it be sprint cars, your E-mods, your pure stocks, your limits, whatever you got. It's got to be a great show. You don't want to put on a terrible show for a crowd like that. So, your stress level goes tenfold on that event right there, Rodney.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of the national appeal, right, of the guys running for points and all of that, I mean, it's huge, the fact that they're opening up their season at the race ranch, like you talked about with some of the guys that are all going to be there, 40-plus cars going to be there. I also think that having the STEM series as what I would assume could be a season opening race for them would just put added spotlight on that series to kick off one hell of a season for those guys. So I think that it's having both of those classes together in one night is going to lead to pretty full grandstands and a pretty big buzz within the racing community down here.
Yeah, yes, I hope, and like I said, I've been very involved with the STEMS guys, and I hope that when they leave that place, the show they put on allows us to go, man, they're coming back on this date, and everybody marks their calendars to go, oh, I'm coming back on that date, right? So you hope that there's a 20-car field going, this is our opener for the STEM series, and we're going to come down and put on one hell of a show. And then when they all leave, I got the STEM series coming back in May or whatever it is, well, or at Texana in just a few weeks, that we're advertising that, and people are showing up out of the woodworks because they want to see that. They want to see that STEM series. So, yeah, let's put them in front of the biggest stage all year. as a brand new series, but I guarantee it's going to pay off in the end if we can get the show we need out of them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, Owen. So there you go. I mean, you start with that. And breaking news, by the way, within the next couple of days, of course, we were talking about dropping schedules here, and thank you, Owen, for doing this with us. Very much appreciate you doing this with us. Within the next couple of days, the STEM schedule is going to drop on a Revved Up as well. So be watching for that, because it's going to happen right here. All right, Owen, let's dive into the regular stuff. South Texas Race Ranch, again, popular destination for a lot of folks. And I mean, the momentum has just been on and on and on with everything that you're doing there. I say it when I'm there. I tell folks all the time, look, if you want to go to the racetrack on a Saturday night, because now you've got Edna on a Friday when we get into the beginning of racing season, there's a lot you can do. There's a lot to do in Corpus. Then you get to the racetrack. There's a bar. There's music. Riptide is there all the time. This is a full experience. Here is 2024 at the South Texas Race Ranch. Owen, you talked about the first and the second, and then kind of take it from there. I mean, again, there's a great variation of different traveling series that come in. Then I love the Larry Roberts Memorial, the Outlaw 34. You've got these events right here, man. This right here is solid, man. This is a solid schedule in 24 for the ranch.
Yeah, so one thing that's missing there is actually I'd sent you a new one, and I guess you missed that one. But July 12th and 13th is the ASCS Go South will be there for the Outlaw 34, so it makes that event even bigger. Yeah, we got the Larry Roberts Memorial, man. I miss that guy terribly, so super stoked to do something in his honor. And then the one thing I didn't send you that kind of breaking news that I'm waiting on is that May 25th and 26th, we've always had a pretty good sprint car show around our Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Mm-hmm. The ASCS Elite Outlaws, okay, the Elite Outlaws, the 410s with wings, they're working real hard to get that date. The problem they're having is Nathan. You know Nathan. He's talked to you on the show before. He's struggling a little bit to he's racing in Indianapolis that weekend. So he's making sure he's got somebody that can come cover the show, run the show for him, and be there. So we're really hoping to have those Outlaw Wing Elite Series there, the 25th and 26th. And then we run to the Go South with Walters and his crew coming in on the 12th and 13th, 2-day show, and on a Saturday, Friday, Saturday, they're July 12th and 13th for the Outlaw 34. Then we roll right into the Dwarf Car Nationals. Man, we hadn't seen them this far south. They chose to come this far south this year. They kind of wanted a beach scene. They want to bring their teams from Colorado and California and all over to come down and check out the beaches in Corpus Christi. And I'm like, okay, whatever y'all want to do, we appreciate it. So we roll that down into the late July there, and we keep rolling into our usual 2-day show around a Saturday, Sunday for Labor Day. And then wrap up, and of course our South Texas Shootout. We can't go wrong, so we do that every year. They're towards the bottom, but yeah, it's a full schedule, guys. It's a little more races than we run. It allows it because we are doing Friday nights in Edna. Allows me to run a few more dates on Saturday nights. Is where we like to run in Corpus. I really would love to see Edna get to that Friday night track like Waco. Like, this is a great place to race on a Friday night. And Saturday night would be a great place to race at the Race Ranch in Corpus. Those are my two businesses that me and Cord are tied together in Edna, and I run my own lease business in Corpus, and I have to protect both of those businesses. So I'm focused on how do I get both of those tracks to run opposite each other and do the best they can for them. So that's the whole schedule concept, is how do I get the best for those two tracks?
I love it.
Yeah, I think the combo nature of all the races, I mean, I think that you're getting enough races in to where the fact that it becomes the Race Ranch racetrack, just because of the nature of, like Rodney said, getting to hang out at the beach on Saturday morning and then going to the racetrack on Saturday night and all that. But I think with the way that the stuff is doubled up with some of the sprint cars and dwarf car stuff coming in on a Friday and a Saturday, I mean, that's a quick little 3-day weekend that be really beneficial to the race. I like the way the schedule shakes out, where you've got some stuff on a Friday and a Saturday, and then you've got some stuff on a Saturday and a Sunday there that works too. So all in all, I think it's a very complete schedule. So we're going to have the opportunity to bring in the fans as a destination racetrack more so than it has been in the past.
Yeah, I agree, Bobby. I think there's a lot of opportunity in the schedule, and and some things like the ASCS National Tour, there's things in here that we haven't brought in, right? They've been way above our heads. So it's an opportunity to put us back on the map, get us back to a high level of the race ranch is a destination racetrack. This is where you want to come and enjoy yourselves. Shootouts like we had, they weren't the most successful in my mind the end of last year, but it did set the tone for it's a great place to come race, and a Friday, Saturday, you can come enjoy yourself. So we continue to just build on what momentum we've had over the last 2 years. And man, I tell you what we build on, guys. And this is, I think, Rodney, both of y'all could talk to this a little bit, is how about Corpus Christi racing in general, right? So, and Rodney talks about it a lot, but how about Cody Leonard at the Chili Bowl, Stephen Whitaker Jr. running up front in Vado, while you got out there Cameron Starry at Kukoping racing a stock car. I mean, you got Texas racers from Corpus Christi running in the front of racetracks all over the United States. Come on, man. At the highest level, this is where you want to come race at. Come on.
Man, I agree. And I really think that it is. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, the tradition is so rich there, Owen. You know this as well as anybody. I mean, you go back to the CC Speedway time and all of that. I mean, it really is one of those places to where when you think of, man, I've said it so many times, all these different places in Texas where we've tried to have racetracks, fucking Corpus used to have both of them. You had a pavement track and a dirt track racing simultaneously. Well, not, but in operation at the same time. There's so many drivers there. And I really think what you guys are doing there at the race ranch, I mean, it really is the place to really nail down, and the schedule right here that, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, with the trucks, with the dwarfs, with the stems, with ASCS, I mean, everything that you want is right there, man. I think this is going to be a real benchmark year for you out there.
Yeah, I do too. And what's missing is the late models, and they're not going anywhere. Don't worry, you're going to see late models too. So, late models will be there. American Crate Late Model South will still be running. So we got some late models running as well. I just haven't had time to work on that schedule as well. So we'll fill some dates in at both tracks with late models, and man, it's just huge, and it's a promoter's dream to be able to. I used to bitch about touring series constantly about they're killing racetracks. And at this point, I look at them in a different way. I look at them as they're a great marketing opportunity to bring more fans into my stands by having something other than just my regulars, which my regulars put on a great show. Obviously, I just named 3 regulars that are top of the line running all over the country, right? So you got that. But now you're adding all these, these big modified touring series now, and dwarf cars that are fantastic to watch, truck series with great drivers that do some crazy ass stuff, late models and sprint cars. I mean, you add it all together, and that's what every promoter wants, to be able to go, hey, here, I'm gonna be able to market this. I got something that's marketable on my Saturday night, even bigger than my normal show. And my normal show's fun. We have a normal show that brings dollar beer and live music. And I mean, we have plenty to market in there, but now you add all this together and it's like, wow, okay. Every week's a special event in somebody's mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it works. I think what people fail to realize is that what's good, the fact that Edna and the race ranch are tied so close together, what's good for one track benefits the other. If we find a formula that works on a Friday night in Edna, that's a good way to put more touring series. You have the touring series come to Edna on a Friday night, and then you go Saturday night to the race ranch. So I think that it's kind of vice versa in terms of if something works on a Saturday, you can bring them to a Saturday show there at Edna. So I think that people forget sometimes what's good for one track is very good and beneficial for both. So that's set up now, but I mean, kudos to you, man. That's a hell of a schedule for both places. I like that race ranch schedule. That's going to be some must-see events this year coming up in 2024.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed and frustrated with we ain't got no sprint car shows right now on the Edna schedule, and we still got late models to add and a few things to add to that. Really, with the SUS Sprint Car Series not touring this year, and then I'll work with Walters a little bit and see if we can't get us a really good show with the ASCS Gulf South coming there, the Edna scene, with TRP. So we got a little bit of work to do there. I see there's a question on there about mods in December. I would love to have stems in December at our biggest show of the year. I hope stems makes it to every big show, the Clash and in Corpus for the shootout. So to answer Daryl Boyd's question, yes, the plan would be to have those mods at those shows, the STEM series. But and you notice we've rained out the Clash way too much. So I just went ahead and put here's the Clash and here's the rain out Clash.
Yeah.
It's a weird year, right? There's 5 weekends in November. That's unusual. So there's an extra date. It's hard to see on that particular post you got there. It's right at the bottom. The Clash rain outs the 21st through the 23rd. Our normal weekend's always that third weekend, the 14th to the 16th. That's the Clash every year. But usually there isn't an extra weekend in the month. Usually we go right from there right into Thanksgiving. Well, this particular year, because of 5 weekends in that month, we'll race the dam next weekend if we have to, but we're going to get that Clash done at some point.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. That Clash, man, it's like at some point, man, it's one of those things just waiting to explode. Owen, with these schedules, kind of talk about, and you mentioned it when we were having the Edna discussion, when you were talking about sponsors and so forth, whether it be with the STEMS group and versus a class at Texana. Man, I really think this is the time for those touring series, racetracks. Got to kind of try to cooperate in there, man. I know that we talk about that all the fucking time, and people probably get tired every time that it comes up. But man, there's got to be some cooperation in there with all these things, because it's the livelihood of the racetrack. You know what I mean? A promoter, whatever, can say, okay, I'm done, and that's it. You may lose your ass or whatever, but you can walk away. But for the longevity of everything, man, we've got to figure out a way to make all these moving parts and pieces work together.
Yeah, I mean that's really a key is how to fit them in, Rodney. How to fit them into every facility, how to fit with other racetracks, whether it be Cotton Bowl or 37. And rules are the same, right? We haven't even talked about rules and how the key to rules go between these tracks and keeping it the right way. And then, with Edna, it helps with the 105 runs a whole lot. So having a Friday night to allow 105 guys to come down here and race with us is a big. There's a lot of thought that goes into these things. It isn't as simple as just let me throw some numbers at a dartboard and go racing, right? And the touring series, they're a big part of, hey, this won't work. And you see some touring series doubled up on my dates, kind of where the only place they'll fall. So at that point, I have to figure out how to make it work, make it happen. And if you're bringing the stems and the trucks, that's a big ass night, guys. That's a night you can raise the front gate price. It's going to add the value, and that's important to me. Not that I always want to raise the price of the front gate for the fans, but if you can give them the quality of show that deserves that price, then I think it's the right thing to do, and it allows us to make the money we need to pay those series. So there's an important part to that.
Absolutely.
So we got time. If you want to do the Cliff Notes version of the rules, we got a little time here before we cut it loose. I mean, there's always been that talk about the 105 rules in Texana versus the I-37 rules over there. So if you got a minute, you could do the Cliff Notes version for those that don't know.
Man, I don't want to really get into that, Bobby, but I like that. But no, the biggest deal is right now factory stocks, right? Tires and grooving or non-grooving, and KK 704s. I'm still at a level right now. Like I'll be honest with you, I'm going to have some meetings, and I hate meetings. I hate rules meetings with a passion. It turns into just an argument. It's an argument amongst racers that have an opinion, and they're all opinionated. They're all going to tell you where it's at, but I really struggle with it, but I do plan on doing some of that in the coming weeks. We're going to be in February and in that barn out there in Robstown every week. So we're going to throw a few things in that barn to invite people out, probably banquet style and meeting style to discuss some rules. And I'd love to see a few changes that add longevity, cost savings, and make the rules a better situation. So there's a lot of that. To answer Jeremy Petty's question, we will not be racing any nights, full mods at Texana or Race Ranch without Stems. Stems will be my modified racing at both of those racetracks, period.
And I really think that's kind of something that needs to happen, right? We've the last couple of days or the last couple of weeks on Revved Up, we've been talking about, like Romco and USRA late models and all that. I kind of think that's where the modifieds are at this point, Owen, don't you think? To where it's like it needs to be a standalone thing like that. I mean, because look at Waco. I mean, Waco tried to do their own modified thing, and it just paying a lot of money, and you get 5 cars. And I think the movement here with Stems is going in the right direction to where that's going to be. It's going to be the show coming into town to where people are going to want to come out and see 20 cars versus 5 or 6.
Yep, and that's exactly right. I don't think I did modifieds any justice. I'm just being honest. I don't think I run 2 years of modifieds in Corpus and in Edna. I don't feel I've done the drivers and the fans any justice in what we've done. 6-8 cars is not justice to me. When the stem shows up and there's 20 cars, man, you're going to have some great racing from some great drivers, and it's going to be worth every dollar you paid to get through that gate. So let's do that. Let's do more of that. Let's do more of a class that struggles like this. Let's figure out how to make that class better. The STEM series is exactly what's needed to make it better. I'm just telling you, it's a good deal. I'm excited about it. And like I said, I've had tons of drivers come to me that are excited about it. So yes, man, to do these mods justice and the drivers and their sponsors, that it's absolutely the way to go.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
So I think all in all, I think with the at the end of HMP, I know Colin's going to mention HMP here, but I think that the momentum is going to be there because we talked about it into the 2023 season at HMP over there in Victory Lane, and they were all excited about it. I think with the new schedules that we have here for the race ranch in Texana, I think there's going to be a lot of buzz in the air about that. I know Accord's going to be excited because he can spend more days at the lake on Saturday with racing on Friday night. So, a lot of I've seen a lot of change, but a lot of change for the good on the two schedules. So I think that's going to be good for everybody involved.
Yeah. So a lot of my nights are so real quick, guys. It's really hard to run Friday night in Edna, Saturday night in Corpus. Corpus is a full deal, which so is Edna now. Edna's evolved into a different direction. It's gone back a few years when I ran everything in Edna. So Cord doesn't really want any part of doing anything. He wants to own it and he wants me to take care of it. And I respect and appreciate that. But then the stock and concession stands, right? You get into everything it takes to run a racetrack, and it's super tough. So my wife would literally kill me or divorce me if I ran those nights back to back. So most of the Edna nights run back to back with Houston. Houston's a little bit easier. We don't run concession. We only run the races when we show up there. So that's why you'll find, if you look and you marry the schedules up, that Friday nights in Edna a lot of times directly correlate with a Saturday night in Houston. So I'll be trying to Edna night, head to Houston, be there early in the morning, ready to go for our Houston dates. Houston's exciting. Houston's growing. I got some great help in Houston. We just signed up a lady that's really helping us. I'm super excited about. You're about to see a website come out, which we don't have a website for Houston. Dwarf cars. I talked to DCSRT that them guys are going to bring what is currently a touring dirt series at this point. They're going to bring it back to the asphalt in Houston for one day. They're going to give it a run. I told them, I think their big concern, guys, was tires, right? And but I told them you can wear a tire out at any racetrack in the country on any given night, especially in the summer in South Texas, just as easy as you run it and wear it out in asphalt. So don't just say, well, we wear tires out more on asphalt than we do dirt. No, I promise you can wear some tires out at the race ranch if the track isn't moist enough. So, but point being, it's also how you drive and set up your car, right? Your car can last a long time on a set of dirt tires on asphalt if you drive it right. If you're out there sideways every lap, well, that's a little bit on you. Maybe you need to fix that problem you have, that heavy right foot, and start driving it right. So having the dwarf cars return to Houston's a big deal to me. I like it. I think they're a great touring group that a lot of people follow. So it adds one more dimension to Houston. And Houston's looking great. So it's not just these two schedules I'm working on. I'm still constantly in meetings and working on things in Houston. We want Houston to be huge, and there's so much opportunity there. So between the asphalt and two tracks, we're pretty busy, guys. We're trying to make racing great, as great as we can make it down here. Someday we'll be at Kevin Rogers level. It's going to take a lot.
Well, yeah, right. Well, and I see that Jerry kind of posted right there when you were talking about dwarf cars. I had my wheels turning. I was going to say, what if a guy has a brand new set of retreads of recaps wrapped in shrink wrap, 4 tires, put away, ready to go, and has a car? But I think they answered the question right there. Yeah. I'll say I've got tires that'll last.
Just bring it out. Just bring it out. What are they going to do? Disqualify you in the end? Just bring it out and outrun them, Rodney. Don't be scared.
Right. I think that'd be the thing to do. Just fucking show up and kick their ass. And what you're talking about right there with KR. Yes, Kevin, absolutely for the shootout. And Owen, I think I kind of gave you a hint right there. Looking at some of those dates, the majority of those Corpus dates actually work out really well for me because a lot of my struggle to get to Corpus is I usually have Friday night football. I won't have that this year. So it's going to change a lot of things right there. So just we can figure all that stuff out. Final thoughts for you, my man. A lot on your plate. First and foremost, for you, how do folks, and I'm talking about folks that legitimately want to be a part of either one of these tracks or be a part of Houston financially or whatever. And I mean folks that are really legit. I mean, don't be blowing my man up over here, saying I want to put $5 to the point fund. I mean, this folks that really want to be a part of this, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you and dive into one of these places to continue to make this better?
Man, I'm pretty easy to find. My stuff's all over the internet, unfortunately. But
right.
Yeah, Race Ranch, Texana. The only phone number you call is me. So as Bobby's probably seen and you've seen, when I'm there, I might be talking to you and I got to stop and answer the phone. And some fans asking, what time do we start? How much is it? That's me. So anytime you call either racetrack, you're contacting me directly. That's my cell phone number. It's kind of a dumbass thing to be, but it is what it is. And I kind of like the fan, and one of the biggest supporters of me, kicking me in the ass, going, be nice. When you answer the phone, be nice. Because, at some point you're real aggravated and you're having a rough day and you're like, what do you want type answer. And when I see him calling, I'm like, hello, Texana Raceway Park. How can I help you? Right. You got to get that smiling face on for the fans. And we want people to come enjoy our racetracks. That's the bottom line. Look at the body of work we put in all the way around. We got great people. We got you two, as my screen looks, I look at you two. We got you two as great announcers. And I couldn't be more proud of the announcing staff and what makes the show great is you guys. And then I try to fill in, unfortunately, when I can, when you guys can't be there. We lost Larry Roberts last year, who was a great person to be a part of my racetracks and do what he can and announce some. So, but can't be honored enough to have you guys there. We got some great sprint car series. We got the STEM series. We got the dwarf car series, man. We got the trucks. We got guys that want to race, that love racing, and I'm super excited to have them come into my racetracks and be a part of it. And I'm super excited. There's opportunity to be at Cotton Bowl and 37 and 105, and every racetrack deserves every fan and every driver they can get. So main thing is let's focus on keeping racing alive, keeping racing enjoyable, and that's all that matters to me.
Owen, when you were talking about the phone right there, I remember one night in Corpus, I was standing there next to you and that phone kept ringing and you're like, shit, Race Ranch. I'm like, oh, there you go, right there. That's the friendly voice that you get when you call this.
Yeah. Yeah, you're lucky my wife wasn't in there. She would have lined me out. Hey, you're going to be nicer when you do that.
I love it, man. I love it. Dude, man, these are it's gonna be a blow up year, man. It's gonna be a big deal. You've done a hell of a job here. I know this is only the beginning, but I got to tell you, the fact that you have correlated these things together, man, it's a step in the right direction. And looking forward, and of course, use this show. And tonight has been amazing. I can tell you, I see the numbers. So folks are going to be blowing this up. So I'm assuming once we're done here, you'll get these up on the various Facebook pages and so forth, and folks can reach out if they have any questions on anything.
Yeah, we'll get them up on Facebook as well as websites. And don't discount Houston, guys. It's as big as either one of these. So we got 3 racetracks that are monsters, man. We got a lot going into this, and we got a lot of great people and a lot of great people behind it. So y'all keep up with it. And not only that, we got a great month of February. 95 Motorsports presenting, which I hadn't got a chance to talk to you guys. So I'm throwing some stuff out there, but 95 Motorsports supporting the Stars event, South Texas Arena Racing. We got 800 to win go-kart events, guys. We got 200 lap enduros there. We got some great stuff going on right there in Robstown that's going to be killer. So super stoked about that stuff too. There's a lot, the body of work right now. So, as you know, Rodney and Bobby both, I retired, and my focus is racetracks, and all I want to do is make racing better at every possible level I can make it. Go-kart to super late model. Let's get it done, guys. Let's have a good time and keep racing growing in Texas and working together.
That's right. That's right.
Track classes and other details to be determined, right, Owen?
Yeah, our normal track classes. Edna, obviously, you're going to have the hobby stock and the limited modifieds, factory stocks, and E-mods. So it's pretty normal in Edna. We're not going to change those 4. And then we got a touring series coming in about every date almost. And we'll figure out on the dates we don't. But in Corpus, we have the mini mods along with our awesome limited class in Corpus. It shows up huge every week. Factory stocks, I hope it continues to get better. It struggled a little bit last year other than the big show at the end of the year. Pure stocks has been amazing. And E-mods, they drive me crazy with some of the shows they put on, but they show up in numbers. They're big, and I love them. So we'll continue to grow all those classes and push them. So, yeah, we got 5 normal classes and 4 normal classes. And then, of course, we're going to have these touring series coming in and out. It's going to be a great year. So I like that opportunity, and I try not to overstack some of them nights, like the national tour coming in. I didn't want every class on every night. 46 days there, Rodney, and that's exactly right. And I didn't overstack. I wanted three classes on Friday, 4 on Saturday type thing. Let's put on some amazing shows and get the crowd in and out. Get them down there drinking dollar beer in the bar for Riptide and stuff like that. So we got a lot. I hope to see you down there, Rodney, in Corpus. Can't wait to see you, Rodney and Edna, or Bobby and Edna. So we got a lot. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a good time, my man. Congratulations on getting this done. And, man, I'll tell you, my thoughts are with you because here we go. And, and like you said, it starts in February for you. So, yeah, God bless you, buddy.
Thanks, bud. Thank you both. Appreciate y'all doing this and having us on. We're excited about it, and we're excited for what's coming in Houston. We're excited for what's coming in both Corpus and Edna. All 3 tracks. There's a change in the air, guys. Edna's a big change. That stuff. There's opportunity. So let's make the best of it, and let's grow this deal, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and before you go, here's John Leda. USRA factory stock rule 105 guys don't have to change. Is that to be determined? And again, I know this is, I don't want to bombard you with these rules questions, but just kind of stuff right there that can be figured out at some point.
All to be determined. Yes. It's come down to, we got Corpus, we got 105, we got 37, we got Cotton Bowl, right? So you have to determine where you're going to get your best value for your buck, right? Is it Corpus, 37, Cotton Bowl, or is it 105? Because those rules don't align. I'm sorry, they don't. 105 don't align with any of those other tracks down south. So we have to make the determination of where are we going to get the most value for the buck. And our pure stocks had turned into hobby stocks in Edna for that 105 group, right? They got a great 105 group of hobby stocks up there. That's way bigger than their factory stocks. I don't know if y'all pay attention, but I watch the numbers at every race you can possibly watch every week. I go, my race pass and me are like best friends, and my wife don't like either one. So, Stephen, hot dogs will still be $2, but we'll have some specials just in your name for doing so good in Votto. Okay, so we'll do Stephen Whitaker Jr. $1 hot dog night one night. Don't worry. But
the Whitaker dog right there, man.
The Whitaker dog. We'll have that one night, extra chili and cheese for you, bud. But nah. So yeah, rules are tough. We're working on it though, and that's the next big piece.
Yep, that's right. That's right, folks. Just tune in. Owen's going to tell you what's going on. I mean, you know, he's not going to go silent on you. Owen, thanks for doing this here, man. What a turnout. Be ready. You're going to be bombarded with questions, but congratulations, and looky there. There's the real MVP right there. Well, no, I guess, where's Jamie? I think that's the real MVP in this whole deal.
Yeah, she's in the other room.
Yeah, there you go. All right, man. Thanks so much. Congratulations, dude. We'll be talking at you soon.
Thanks, guys. Enjoyed it. Have a good night.
Take care. There he goes, man. That right there is, woo, that's loaded. That is loaded, Bobby. Let's take a look once again. So here is the Texana Raceway schedule, and you and I can kind of break this thing down. I mean, just looking at that is, obvious change right there, the Friday night races. But I like what he's done right here to where he's supplementing all of the regular stuff with some touring stuff, and that's I do think that I don't know if the Friday will work, but I think it's worth the gamble. I think it is definitely worth the gamble.
Well, there needed to be a change up somehow, some way there in Edna. The car count was down significantly from the times before. And, sometimes you got to think outside the box. The thing that didn't correlate so much to me until now was the doubleheader back-to-back between Edna and that I'm involved with both tracks. That's going to make for some long weekends there in the middle part of the summer. But, that's fine. That's what we made highway miles for, and satellite radio to listen to on some of them long trips. So
I think one of the biggest nights right here on the schedule, we're talking about Fridays, but I think that's Saturday, June the 6th or 8th. I think that's going to be a really big one there with the Stims Modifieds. I think that one for Edna is one where I think that place better be packed to the rafters, because I think that's something that can be really huge, as well as that Saturday, August the 10th, with the trucks and the Stims Modifieds. In addition to everything else, I think that's those are a couple of dates there, and then of course the Clash, and then with DCRST in there. DCRST is going to bring a lot of people, and that's it's I really like, especially with that Saturday opener and then reverting to Fridays. It kind of allows you to set that table, build that picnic, and kind of let folks know, okay, here's the appetite, here's how you come back and get it. I really like the way that thing is built.
Yeah, I think the Stims deal is going to be a pretty big deal in terms of that, both in Corpus and in Edna. So we'll see how that shakes out. I know it looks like investment this year by the Truck Series. So speaking of Truck Series, I got a deal. My graphic designer thing came through with Trailer Caulfield. I have to send it to you about my octopus deal. So special thanks to TLC Graphics and Trailer Caulfield for hooking me up with the graphic I needed earlier. And then there with the trucks, so that's huge. I mean, that's big for both the series, much as they run across the state. So,
and then right there with that race ranch schedule, I mean that one right there. I mean, just everything there. With the special events, and I like the added Larry Roberts race. Easter stuff and the cars and all that. I mean, it's a great, and the thing about Corpus is Corpus in that different direction right there, like what Owen was talking about, to where Texana needed something to kind of add a little shot to it. Corpus didn't really need that so much, but what they've done with Corpus is he's gone in and adding, sprint cars and dwarf car nationals and all these different things. And I think that's just really going to entice people more to get themselves over there. And man, I think both tracks and Houston, I think they're going to do exceptionally well.
And there's always somebody that's going to be an ingenious thinker that's going to say, hey, why don't you have run on Houston? And they could pull some of the Edna cars and say, hey, the highest finishing car from Edna that races in Houston the following night gets $500. But I'm good with coming up with ideas that with other people's money though. So
and that's the other part of that, to where it's like Bud Light. That's where you get. I have no problem with Bud Light myself. I drink anything. The whole thing with that, when folks talk about why don't you do this or why don't you do that, well, we've seen it so many different times, Bobby, to where it's like something. Somebody will add a race for whatever, and I mean this is more on pavement. Why don't you have the whatevers, and nobody's there, and and
Mhm.
and you have one shot. You have one shot, and usually you have plenty of time. It's not very often that a promoter is going to give you a week for something that's been dormant for a while. And I mean, this is where I go back to. I really think in Houston, it's going to be important to figure out what's going to happen with that bootlegger thing versus a factory stock, because in my opinion you need to go with the factory stocks. If you're going to have a stock class, go with the factory stock. Why don't you come in and like what they're doing with the dwarf cars, go in there and take something that's established and try to format it to what's going to work best for what you're doing now. The bootlegger thing, the streets, everybody's ready. That's why I never say, hey man, run that class there and I'll be there, because I ain't going to be there. I am not going to be there. Do that with the factory stock. I think that's better with that. But anyway, hey Bobby, before we get out of here, and we'll hit the chat. We'll hit the chat one more time before we get out of here, as Owen joins us. This show tonight presented by On Demand Shirts. Of course, that is the official souvenir and swag provider of South Texas Race Ranch, and of course the Revved Up Sports Show of Dirty Air. It is On Demand Shirts. James Cole and the folks in San Antonio. Quick word from There it is, On Demand Shirts, and we'll hit the chat one more time. But as I mentioned, Bobby, you guys pay attention just the way this show came up after Russ last night. And by the way, man, I had so many people that reached out to me, a lot of SAS racers, and they're like, man, it was so good to hear from Balzer, so good to hear from Oates, man, all those stories right there. And now there's some controversy about the reunion. All that will get figured out. Just it'll all be figured out. TBD, as they say.
TBD, baby.
Yep, no doubt about it. Going back here quickly to the chat one last time. Your thoughts of the micro mods running at different tracks? Well, I think there's always going to be a market for that, and it's kind of what we were just saying. I mean, ideas are great, but given the opportunity, I think that's what needs to happen. If you're going to get a date, I think you need to show up and of course make it beneficial for the racetrack. Honestly, I mean that's the whole thing. I mean, if a racetrack is going to invest a lot of time and money trying to go out and find a person, do all these different things, you need to bring a field. You need to bring a field is the bottom line.
Yeah, definitely for that deal. So I think that there's going to be ways that and good intentions are always good. Any kind of touring series deal, somebody says you're going to get 14 guys to say they're going to show, you're going to get 7.
Yeah.
So that's generally the way that works. So unless it's a super established series, like you could back in the dwarf car days, you can count on 20 guys showing up at every race. But that was years of.
Yep. All right, one last look. And again, these are going to be on those Facebook pages. Go to the Texana Raceway Park Facebook page. You'll see that right there. And of course, you can go back and watch this on any of the platforms that it's on. We'll have an audio podcast on iTunes and so forth. All that will be available. I know we're not giving all the dates, so for the visual right there, be sure and check the pages. There's Texana. Here is the South Texas Race Ranch one more time. And remember, at the Race Ranch, that national event, everything fires off March 1st and 2nd. As Owen said, that it's 46 days away, so be ready to go and be ready for the Arena Series because they're firing off in February as well. Also, guys, stay tuned because that STEM schedule, Jacob messaged me about an hour before we jumped on the air with this one. It is tuned and ready to go. You've seen some of those dates already, but here in the next couple of days, before Monday, I'm sure, we're going to have that one for you and get you that on a special edition. Bobby, this damn show's going to be 5 days a week before we know it, dude.
You never know, man, with everything else. Shit happens, man. I'm not as worried about a 5-day radio show schedule as I am about a back-to-back weekend schedule between Texana and Houston. So
no doubt, no doubt. Good stuff right there. Thanks to Owen for doing that with us, and thanks to all of you guys for checking in and dropping the messages one last time to the chat. Great answer. Okay, well, there you go. See, I finally answered something right, I think, with that question about the micro mod. So super cool stuff. All right, you guys, be looking for that show with the stems. We'll drop that one ASAP. Bobby, stay warm, my man. You guys, all of you, wrap your pipes, take care of the pets, take care of the people, take care of the plants, all of those peas, your penis, take care of all that. Don't forget that pea. That one's extremely important.
That is, especially if it's got too much.
That's right. And if you're a young whippersnapper, wrap that rascal. That's important too.
And that sure is.
That's your PSA. All right, Bobby.
PSA of the day. There you go.
Owen's like,
hell of a way to end the show. Jeez.
Yeah, that's right. We're out of here. Take care of the peas. All right, you guys. Thank you for being a part of this. We'll do it again soon. # Real Race Talk. Bobby, have a great rest of the week, my man. It is the Revved Up Sports Show. This has been your schedule drop. Texana Raceway Park, South Texas Race Ranch. You guys have a great rest of